I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
He's one of the more exalted quarterbacks in the league, but I still don't think he gets enough appreciation for his ability to read defenses and lead his ball club.
Blue 30. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Conner here on 1st. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. With that, let's take a look here at the Charger defense.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Black 15! Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Fourth down, and on is Ty Long to punt. That's pulled in at the 32. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
A quick throw complete to Washington. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Like 5. Strong left, strong left, strong left. We got 4.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, but it'll be second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Here's Ty Long now as he'll punt it away for the second time. It's taken to the 26. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready? Black 20. Oh, here we go. Oh.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Blue 30.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Wide 80.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And a little floater there is incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
All day, every day, any day.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On 2nd down, Eckler. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20. But instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
Black 20. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And Ben goes down in the end zone, and that'll be a safety. Well, you just said it, Charles. They had to be very hesitant thinking about throwing the football. That's why, safety.
Foul that one under. Worst fears realized.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And this will be taken at the 13.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now Gordon on 1st down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Come on, baby.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action. Rivers. Benjamin's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle there by Mark Barron. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Well, he's going to go for it all. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 31 yards, and the Chargers have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead now moves to 9-7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They go draw play. This is Samuels. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Roethlisberger will throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. From the gun, Rivers. Allen's got it complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here we go again. Here we go.
Play action now. Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards to pick up there.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Rivers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. This is Gordon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Rivers complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, Rivers. He's got Green. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
You got it. You got it.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Rivers now. And it's complete. Henry. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Rivers again. Got his man. It's Williams. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Rivers. Able to get away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Rivers. He'll get this to Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. Badgley's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Steelers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
It's going to be a long day.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Play 89.
To throw, Rivers. He completes it to Henry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 29 yards, first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
A first down throw here for Rivers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Minka Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Rivers over the middle, and it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rivers, complete. It's Henry. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. Have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, and as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And the ball is knocked out. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Ben to throw again. Johnson's got it complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Roethlisberger now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead out in front at 13-12. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Here's Rivers. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, as time expires in the first half, and the Chargers are going to retake the lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. Now, a little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Rivers. It's Williams on the catch. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Rivers for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Stay there. Stay there. Black 11.
Rivers on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Rivers, he leaves to Eckler on the draw. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's third down.
Set. We're okay. We're okay. Set. 180. Let's go, D. Set. 198.
On third down, Rivers. He'll get this to Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Ty Long now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Let's go.
Still 1st down.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 36, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. Past the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 73 yards. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Connor. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose and picked up by the Chargers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Set, 180.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Rivers hands off to Eckler. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
To throw on 3rd down, Rivers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. He's got daylight. The 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 25. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw, Rivers. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Gordon. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rivers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's taken down inside the 30. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. On 1st and 10, Rivers. He completes it to Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
Step around 80, block 15.
1st down, Rivers. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and drop. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing Rivers. And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. From the gun, Rivers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bud Dupree, that's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now the second-year kicker, Michael Badgley. He hit from 59 as a rookie. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. This is Samuels. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Connor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check 52. Check 52.
On third down, it's Connor. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Washington's got it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On second down, it's Connor, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Left 30. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Flash it, run.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 13-yard touchdown run as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Operating from the gun. Rivers. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Get him, boys.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mike, ready? Round 80. I'm coming for you. Wait, 89.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Ty Long now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Everyone got 4.
They'll start the drive with Samuels. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's just me and you.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. With a catch made by Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Ben to throw again. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
You better be afraid of me.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Watch left, watch left. He's tight right there.
We got 4.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. From the gun, Rivers. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
180, 190.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Gordon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rivers. He'll get this to Eckler. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now on 4th down, honors the punt team sending this one away. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the miss. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Roethlisberger will throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. The Chargers getting set to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 38, Rivers. This is caught by Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Rivers on first down. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Rivers now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Rivers again. And that is incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Smith-Schuster. That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And now a fumble. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. So how about that play? We had a tie ball game. Defense comes up huge. That's the definition of a big play for this defensive unit.
Not something that you see that happens often to a guy like, let's say, Jamal Charles. Remember 2015? Fumbled it in a key situation.
Roby, right?
Yes, exactly right. Bradley Roby picked it up and altered the ball game.
Badgley on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Makes the score, Chargers 34,
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Roethlisberger. He finds his man Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give him that the rest of the way. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Got an open man, it's Washington. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
They had to convert there on 4th down, and they ran the football. Major surprise, but they pick it up. Now they've got to really hurry.
One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Here we go.
That goes for a gain of 31.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And yes, he's into the end zone, so they get the late score they needed, and now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point now by Boswell. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
What? Black 15! I got you! I got you! Behind!
Draw play, it's Eckler. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Behind! Behind!
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Son, 180! 98 to Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Wait, 80 behind!
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Benjamin's got it. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And his throw here is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Got his man. It's Williams. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a first down, and he's also over 190 receiving yards now. What a game. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, but it'll be second and goal.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. They'll throw again. Rivers. The quick slant caught. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now third and goal. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is third and goal. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
One man in the backfield is Gordon. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for third and goal. Throwing, Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Badgley able to knock this one through, and they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive, they're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown. Finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. Oh, if he holds on, it's game over. Instead, second down. They sort of got a new lease on life there. If he picks that off, this ball game's over.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it. My defensive backs coach at Tennessee, a lost opportunity is never regained. Used to drive him crazy when I dropped those potential interceptions, as that one was there.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. Johnson's got it complete. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ben to throw again. That's complete to his running back, Connor. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. All right, so let's look at these numbers. I don't want to read the tea leaves here too much, but maybe he's in his own head a little bit after that hot start and the cool-off.
Sometimes that happens, and this is where you get tested as a player in this league if you truly want to be an impact player or a star, because that's what they're going to face each and every game. Extra coverage, extra people. So now, do you fight through it? Do you find other ways? Or do you allow it to affect you to the point where you're no longer an impact on the game?
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.